Spider-Man is probably the most popular DPS to play in Marvel Rivals. There's no doubting that. But unfortunately, it seems that lately the response to a lot of changes that's come to the game has left some Spider-Man players feeling as if their character has now become useless compared to most of the other characters in the game. I believe there's two sides to every story though. And then there's the truth. Most of this complaining has come from people who actually play the character the most, and you can say that's a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you're looking at it. But what if someone from a different viewpoint, tried coming at it fairly? There's one big question during all of this that I had to ask. Is Spider-Man truly useless now? And are the people complaining about him now justified? Or is this just another case of a bunch of babies crying about not being able to one-shot combo every squishy character in the game in under a second? Now, just based off that alone, it probably sounds like I have a pretty big bias against Spider-Man going into this video, right? And right off the rip, you're damn right, baby. I fucking hate having dive characters consistently give my backline a prostate exam while I'm too focused on the front line as a tank. However, for this video alone, I'm setting aside my biases against dive as a whole. Now, if you're wondering what I'm doing for this video, well, it's actually going to be two things. First, I want to dive into the rise of Spider-Man and what even made him so popular to play, to now having people complain that he's become a pretty weak DPS. And then right after that, I want to take a look at the newest season and how it actually affects the entire dive playstyle as a whole right now. And this is something that I can say is for a fact making the game less fun right now. So yeah, sit back, relax, and let the guy with 2 hours on Spider-Man tell you why the nerfs may or may not even be so bad in the first place. Now in a moment here, I'll be taking a look at the most recent nerfs / balance changes that have come over the past month, and then determine exactly whether or not it's much different when compared to previous seasons when Spider-Man was such an annoying character to play against. But before that, let's face it, Spider-Man is probably still the most popular dive character for a very good reason, right? He's an extremely versatile character with a really big skill ceiling. That's what drew people to this kind of character in the first place. He's just very fun to play. Being able to move and swing the way he does is a massive advantage too. There's literally no other character in the game that can consistently keep up with the way this character plays on the field. Having over 3 swings that let you swing at Mach speed, and on top of that, harboring a very small hitbox during all of that, will make most people pretty annoyed when you're constantly having to look back at this guy, and as soon as you do, he's just gone before you even have the chance to react again. It's quite literally just like a mosquito that just gets away as soon as you try to do anything about it. He's just so small and very fast. His popularity probably grew very high due to this reason. Your main target on the field whenever playing this character is low HP characters, who, let's be real here, can quite literally not do anything to you unless they're just a very strong character or someone meant to soft counter you. So yeah, pairing that with the high mobility and versatility across the board, playing Spider-Man became the way to play if you wanted to just get a few easy kills and use the fun mechanics the character offers to speed blitz across the map really fast. In the end, what I'm trying to say here, I guess, is that the reason this character became so popular is because people who were drawn to this type of mechanical skill ceiling started playing him the most. There were a lot of people who still play Spider-Man and who were playing Spider-Man at the launch, let me tell you. And that leads me to an interesting thing I actually think that kind of started leading us down this line of eventually getting this guy nerfed, so to say. We'll get into that in a moment, but because of the flood of people who liked playing Spider-Man, you probably couldn't go into a single quick match where someone wasn't trying to pull you off the map. He eventually became so blatantly annoying to play against that the complaints from the rest of the community eventually started being heard by the developers, and that led down the line of him eventually getting somewhat nerfed. And if you don't believe me, literally just a few months ago, there was an entire thing going on where support players' outcries got so big that people were deeming it this support strike, where due to the reason that Spider-Man and other dive characters were so powerful against and specifically created to target the weaker healers, people just stopped playing the role entirely if nobody would work together as a team. And yeah, it's gonna blow your mind, but I bet if people actually just played together really well and started looking out for each other more, you'd realize that maybe these characters aren't even so strong to begin with. They thrive on 1v1 encounters where they can outmaneuver you and do high damage while leaving you feeling helpless. And when that option goes away and people actually start paying attention to them, they can't do enough damage to justify fighting the entire team on their own. And yes, I know there are some absolute fucking fiends that can somehow take out an entire team as Black Panther, but these are just some jobless people that never take showers and have an entire stock of G Fuel next to their desk to keep them up all night so they can crank those 16 hours of gaming and be better than everyone else. It's like this for every game, alright man? People are just gonna be really good at the game, and obviously I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So yes, these dive characters can be very annoying, and I think everyone's complaints are valid to some extent. However, I want to now focus on the most recent complaints I've been seeing a lot from people who play Spider-Man, because apparently he's the worst character in the game now from what I've heard. But anyways, let's go take a look at these nerfs, and then I can actually, for myself, determine whether or not he's a balanced character or somebody that now needs a buff. So I guess the first place we could start looking at changes to the characters are on the official Marvel Rivals website. And I want to take a look at all the hero balance adjustments because they do drop them here in every single update. And they're like, yo, we changed the character, bro. And I'm going to look through every single one of these for Spider-Man specifically and just see what kind of changes have come his way. Okay, here we go. Symbiote bond. Yes, this is the most recent thing that's happened to Spider-Man. The team-up got taken away, which depending on how much you love this team-up, it was probably a really big change, which Spider-Man loses the suit expulsion ability previously gained from his team-up with Venom. Oh no, nobody has the team-up anymore, so nobody can have the advantage against other Spider-Man players. I hated going into a ranked match and all of a sudden the Spider-Man was crying that I wasn't playing Venom anymore because he was going negative and I had to switch to a different tank because our team was losing, and now all of a sudden the other Spider-Man was diffing him because he didn't have the team up, which yes, I can see why that might be a bigger deal if you're trying to diff the other Spider-Man the entire time. But I mean, now everybody's on the same playing field, right? If you're nothing without the team up, then you weren't meant to wear the mask in the first place, am I right? This is also one that people were complaining about, and I remember this. Spider-Man had a change where they decreased the damage range of Amazing Combo from a 5-meter radius to a 4-meter radius. The uppercut ability that he had was so big that you could uppercut people from above their heads. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna, uppercut their fucking forehead. However, I have seen a lot of people say that because it is a circle, well, not a circle, because the hitbox is a sphere that surrounds Spider-Man, that entire meter does feel like a lot when you play Spider-Man consistently. And yes, I can see that being the case for a lot of Spider-Man players, being like, hey, this feels different. What's going on here? Imagine if I played Venom all the time, which I do, and all of a sudden his tentacles got a really big hitbox nerf. I would feel the difference if I started killing people a lot less. Not the biggest change in the world. I do think it was too big. This was probably more of a balance change. These are the only hero balance adjustments on their page. So from what it looks like on the official Marvel Rivals patch notes page, the only changes that have come to Spider-Man is one buff, giving him less cooldown on his web clusters, the removal of his team-up ability, which, let's just be real here, a team-up ability does not count as a nerf when we were not guaranteed it being a ability in the first place, and a bit of a balance to his hitbox. Alright, I'm coming in here to say, yeah, it looks like the only thing that was actually even nerfed in the end was a team-up being taken away and the hitbox actually being balanced out, if you think about it. Oh no, I can't uppercut the top of their heads anymore. What'll I do? Now, I did say I was going to be fair about this in this video, and I want to be. I don't want to be the harbinger of all truth now here, do we? I mean, obviously, I don't play the character enough to justify saying, yeah, he's still an overpowered character. Somebody who has poured hours and hours into this character can probably tell me why I'm wrong, or tell me why I'm right. I don't really know. It's mostly like you're just here joining me on this journey of figuring it out for myself. But anyways, I did say I was gonna tell you why Dive being punished so much this season might actually be a bad thing, and how it's actually a partial reason as to why playing this current season has been so boring for me, at least. With Ultron being added this season as the newest character, there's currently a new meta going on. It's the flyer meta. We all know about it. We've all experienced it. Come on now. It's boring, to be honest with you. But how does this affect Dive though? Well, characters like Black Panther, Magic, and Venom, and Cap, who mostly rely on doing melee damage, obviously can't consistently take out flyers, and that's gonna lead to most of the enemy team just getting to sit in the air, and divers now being essentially useless in these situations, which, don't get me wrong, I don't think these characters should be able to do anything to them. With the exception of Spider-Man being able to do those things to flying characters, I think being able to play like this occasionally can be a really big breath of fresh air, and when you've been going up against a team consisting of people like Spider-Man, Black Panther, and a Magic the entire night, it's kind of like a whole pick your poison kind of situation, am I right? So it's nice having this level of nuance in the game though. Well, this season's changes to characters like Namor being essentially buffed, Penny now having much more control over the field, and Bucky of all people somehow getting a buff surprisingly. And on top of that, the previously mentioned support strike resulted in some support characters getting a lot of damage buffs. And when you think about it, eventually that kind of stacks up to the point that the nerfs to the characters like Spider-Man kind of feels a little unfair, don't you think? Now, this is obviously looking at the reality of things and how these changes can feel unfair to people who play this character the most, especially when characters like Namor and Bucky can ruin your entire night when trying to play Spider-Man, and Hela still gets to 2-tap anyone with the headshot. Although it takes a little bit of practice to even do all those things in the first place, I can see why most people might get upset. So you might be thinking to yourself right now, well, Bushy, so you've said all these things and we've noticed that Spider-Man is now a way weaker character when compared to previous seasons. You might come to the conclusion that, yeah, he's probably been treated pretty unfairly, and he's now much weaker than before, and he can't do the things that he did before. And yeah, I would fully agree that he is way weaker now, but what can we even do about this? I do think that the only solution that could probably be the best for Spider-Man, at least, is giving him a different team-up that would kind of fill the hole of what the Venom team-up used to do, because currently he has no team-up that would give him any advantage on the field. Although playing a squishy character and being one-shot by Spider-Man in under a second is really annoying, I think if we gave him a team-up that kind of performs on the same level and that makes it a little more fair on the playing field, I do think that would be completely fine. Just give him a team-up that makes him a little bit stronger than he is right now. I still haven't told you exactly why I think dive being cracked down on so hard this season is actually sort of a bad thing. And in the end, it's actually not that big of a deal. I think, in my personal opinion, it's just a different way to look at things, and I really want to know what you might think about it too. Because after you look at all these changes that now affects dive as a whole, matches are pretty boring now. Like, it's if you went into every single match and nobody was playing dive at all, and now you're just stuck there farming damage to pop your ultimate abilities and hopefully get a few kills in the end. The best part about being able to play dive was the fact that you had so much control over the ability to speed up the matches, like, drastically. Targeting back lines made it so you didn't have to sit there through this farm festival the entire time. Although I don't play dive that much myself aside from magic occasionally, I can definitely appreciate a good dive player on either team speeding up the match's pace, albeit very annoying. But you can tell me if that makes no sense at all. I'm not set in stone about this. That's why I'm making this video, to hear what you guys might even think about this in the first place. Maybe this video makes no sense at all, or it does. I'll take anything at that point, to be honest. But hey, drop a like, do subscribe, and let me know what you think. That's gonna be about it for now, though. See ya.